Hey everyone, welcome to this month's Stash Bash. I'm so excited. We are going to work through our ephemera packs. I love to do this. I own tons of ephemera, so much. Like, I have an entire container separating my ephemera by color. And that's how much I have of it. But I use it on basically every layout I do. And so it's a good thing to have, but we're trying to get through some, so I'm going to show you how I work through it. I am using a scrap lifting from a really beautiful layout I found on Hey Little Magpies. It was on their Pinterest, and I tried to search for the actual designer of the layout, and I couldn't find her name. So she's obviously part of the design team from Hey Little Magpie. And it's beautiful. So I'm going to share that with you at the end of my layout so you can see the original layout versus mine. It's super similar because I loved her design so much. And I am taking inspiration not only from her layout, but from the designer of the collection she used. She is using Maggie Holmes on hers. It wasn't the Carousel collection, but it was a Maggie Holmes collection. And so it made me think of the fact that I still have some Carousel collection left in my stash, and I love this collection. It's one of my favorites by far, and I don't think I've done maybe one or two layouts actually using the collection as like an event at the fair type thing, or a carnival. And the rest of them have been stuff like I'm doing now, which is just using it for everyday photos. I really love the versatility of this collection. And so I'm pulling it out, and I am going to trim up some of the papers that I think look really fun together. Like this really beautiful yellow. I think it's probably my favorite paper in the entire collection, with a little pop of blue and a little bit of that soft pink. I just felt like it really, really worked well together. So I'm going to go ahead and layer that all down, and I'm digging it for sure. I do go ahead and off camera do a little bit of mixed media in some pink. I didn't mean to do it off camera, of course, but as I went to do it and hit record, it didn't record. So, YouTube life isn't perfect. But it worked, and I liked it. It's just a little pop of pink, just a little added something. So you're going to magically see some mixed media in a moment. And I'm also going to add in, which is a little different. Of course, this is the thing about scrap lifting, right? You look at it and you copy it as much as possible, or you change it up as much as you want. One thing I did to change it up is I added this fun little black strip. So this is the back side of that yellow paper. And I just added just for another little pop, so I could bring in some black elements to my layout. So I really love that little added piece. And then I also add, you see that little squiggly thing to the end for a border. I liked that as well. I felt like it brought in a bit of an ending point, and the yellow had like a place to rest. So I really loved that. I'm going to go ahead. You can see I went through my photos. I did decide to pick this one. It was smaller, so it fit. I don't know. I wanted to show off the paper and the design. And so I did decide to go with a smaller photo versus the two larger ones I had. Any of them would have worked, but this is the one I'm going to go for. And then I'm going through the scraps of this collection. I keep this whole collection in a bag because I like it so much. I like to use it together. And so I had some scraps, and I just kind of went through and I worked to see what I could make fit and what I thought looked nice. And I used a little bit more of this pink paper. There's one that has little polka dots that you can kind of see me trimming, and I really loved that. And with my photo, it popped off really nicely, so I'm going to play along with that. I like the little stripe paper as well. It brought in a darker pink so I could have some different elements playing around. And I'm pretty happy with the way this is coming together. I'm digging it, and I'm just going to go off camera and glue it all down and do my mixed media at this point because I'm happy and I need to kind of sit and ponder what I'm going to do next. So there you have it. Everything's glued down with my mixed media. And the, again, original layout that I'm scrap lifting from, she had, I don't think it was like I'm doing right now. I'm pretty sure it's like ribbon. What do you call that when you join it together like I'm doing right now? Wow, my brain is just gone. It's ribbon versus, how I'm using crepe paper, but whatever you do, it works. I really liked how it brought like texture to her layout. And so I wanted to have that added texture to my layout as well. And so I didn't have the ribbon in order to do it, so I went ahead and just did this myself and bunched it all up, as you can see, and it worked really, really well. It's such a small little thing, but yeah, it brings in a lot of texture and dimension, and if you look really closely, you notice it. So it's really fun. And I really loved it. So there you go. That's the basis of the layout. Totally in love. And now it's time to go through and bring in the ephemera, because that is the point of today's layout. We are, like I said, stash bashing through our ephemera. And I pulled out my black. You can see I color code everything. So I take all my ephemera. I try to use it in the collection that it's in for 1 or 2 layouts, and then I separate them into my containers. So I went through my black, my pink. I have 2 pinks. I have a light and a dark one, my teal and my yellow. All 3 of my containers to pull out, because those are the colors that I'm trying to represent. And I know that's a lot of colors for one layout, but I feel like I do it in a small enough way that though you see it, it's not overwhelming. So sometimes that works. A lot of times I pick about 3 colors and kind of just go with that. You can kind of see I've done that too. Yellow, blue, and pink are kind of the main colors. Black is the neutral that I've just happened to bring in to have a little bit more. So I'm playing around. I'm going to go through a couple pieces. I like this wonderful. I want to figure out a way to make it work. You don't actually end up seeing the word. I'm going to just use the piece as a little added piece down at the end. Again, it really blends in, but I liked it because if you look closer, it's just an added thing like, oh, hey, look, there's something there. And when I scrapbook, I do a lot of layouts. You all know that. I think a bunch of us on YouTube do a lot of layouts. And though this layout is important and I wanted to take my time with it and stuff, I find that because I do so much, and it's not that I get bored, because I definitely do not get bored scrapbooking. I love it, but I do a lot of the same things, right? I have my go-to designs, my go-to how I do things. And so being able to do something that's kind of interesting to my eye that not everyone might catch, I find really fun. And that makes, while I'm going through a layout, a little bit more fun and enjoyable for me. So I try to do that a little bit on some of my layouts. I have some kind of hidden things in my layouts a lot of times. So anyways, that's just me rambling there. So you can see I've gotten a good base of ephemera used up. I'm really digging that. I figured I should probably start with my title, and I decided that this one is going to just kind of be me venting type of thing. So I title this Life Doesn't Have to Be Perfect to Be Wonderful. And if you are part of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club and you're joining us for this weekend scrap party, you are going to see this title created a little bit more in depth. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you'll enjoy a little sneak. And just know that's one of the bonuses of being part of this Kit Club, is you get to do things and fun challenges and stuff, and this is all part of one. So I hope you stay tuned and get to have fun with that if you're part of our Kit Club. But yeah, so that's my title. I use the word wonderful to be really playful because it's true. Like, this is probably the truest statement in the world. I've had some rougher days, maybe. They're not horrible, they're just mom days, I guess. Life isn't easy with a child that has a disability of any kind. It's just not always easy. And when I was scrapping this, that particular, especially when I was finishing up, that particular day had been extremely difficult. And so this title just worked. It kind of soothed my soul a little, and I went with it. And the photo is one of my new glasses. I went and upgraded because my prescription needed to be moved up just a tiny bit. And so it had to do with the fact that I needed new glasses. And I really love this photo of myself. It's not the perfect photo. It's not great lighting. I don't have makeup on. I mean, it's not much, but I liked it. So there you go. There is the original beautiful layout that I scrapbooked from and my finished take. Thanks everyone so much for watching, and I hope you have fun hopping along with everyone else's ephemera being stash bashed. Bye.